I think that he sent me something, but by that time I had already spent the majority of the day going through my notes and trying to write them, and I said, this is good. Wayne read them and I said, I'm going with it. You know, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Pardon me? I was gonna wait for her. How long do you think she'll be?
Just another 5 minutes.
Fine. You wanna go ahead and start? We'll wait a couple more minutes. Somebody just come in. Because we would be at that.
Are you going to spare me? Thank you.
Somewhere along the line, she changed. Very unique. You do it.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry. I love when Terry's going.
This is big print too, or is it my glasses?
Thank you, Terry. Please.
I like that, that makes it sound like I was gonna be very
Well, I found out later that I don't think that I have this part. So that's the way I went to do it. I was gonna check and she was gonna let me know. That's what I had. And there was 2 people that spoke and I didn't actually write down what they said. So I just went to I did the best. That's all you can do. That's right.
Probably 1970.
If you move over one seat, I'll get a better video. Maybe.
Okay, we'll come to order and we will open the November 11th, 2025 Trepo board meeting. And if you would please stand for the invocation.
Father God, we thank you for this day and we thank you for your many blessings. We pray, Father God, that you would bless us during this meeting, that you would help us, Father, to make good decisions for our members. We thank you for the rivers. We thank you for the community. We pray for those, Father, that couldn't be here tonight. And I ask you, Father, to bless everyone that came out in the cold tonight for this meeting. We love you and we praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Just stand and salute the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic to which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. And we will move now to roll call. Hilda.
Rhonda Ackerson. Here. James Baker.
James is absent. He's out of town.
Judy Grimm.
She's out of town.
Tommy Matthews.
Here.
Wayne Sellers.
He's out.
Out of town.
Sorry.
Charlie Thompson.
Here.
Terry Boyette. Here. Glenn Hunter.
Here.
Tom Trammell.
Here.
Lori Lillis. Here. Terry Hester.
Here.
Nikki Olson.
Here.
Vicki Sellers.
Here.
Hilda Gilchrist. Mike Connolly.
Here.
Ken Koikar.
Here.
And Dusty Trail.
Here.
I'm here.
Oh,
Here. Bonnie's here. Oh, Bonnie. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, board members, we have 3 absents, James Baker, Judy, and Wayne. It's a pleasure to the board for excusing their absence.
Make a motion to
Motion by Charlie, second by Mike. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? With that being said, we'll bring up Kim Kokar, Mike Conley, and Dusty Trail to fill those slots for the board meeting tonight. You have a copy of the agenda, board members? Call for a motion to.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Charlie.
Second.
Second by Mike. Any discussion on the agenda? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed?
Opposed, it wasn't posted, and I asked to have some things put on there a few days, or a week ago, and it wasn't put on there.
Was the agenda posted?
It was.
Okay, motion was posted.
Where was the agenda posted? Because I looked everywhere, and it needs to be in a conspicuous location.
Oh, it is. It's under agenda items, it's under announcements, so it's in at least 2 different places.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, thank you. We'll move on now to approval of minutes. You have the September and the October minutes, board members. You had a chance to look over the October minutes that you were just handed and the September minutes you had previous. We can do them both together, or we can do them one at a time. It would be the pleasure of the board. You want to take a couple minutes to look over them?
The October minutes were emailed yesterday.
Yeah.
There was a correction on them, so they got a second email.
Okay.
And then I, replied all to your email and added notes, and I took it the October meeting also. That way they can be added to. Point. You can't vote on it.
So those corrections, do they need to be, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and vote on September, we'll discuss October, and that may be something that we can add or delete from the agenda and from the minutes tonight. So what's the pleasure of the board on the September 9th minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the minutes of September.
And you have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Charlie Thompson, motion made by Tom Trammell. Any discussion on September? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The October minutes, Hilda, do you know anything about the discussion on the October minutes? Y'all put together the minutes. There was someone saying they wanted corrections to the minutes. Were corrections made, or did they need to be made, or is this something we
I
can do?
think you're talking about September. That's the one that I was here
Yes.
for. October, I wasn't here for.
Okay,
The October minutes I made from my notes,
okay,
and I emailed those yesterday.
okay,
Bonnie sent an email today
okay,
with notes from her,
okay,
Right,
and I didn't.
Yeah,
take
my notes that I emailed y'all for the October 14th meeting, Hilda had posted those, that's what was actually said at the October meeting, but since she's corrected them, you can just delete line 1 on there, but everything else were the notes that I took from the October meeting.
okay, that's fine, we'll do that.
Delete
Y'all-
line 1 where?
I don't understand what you're talking about. The line
Delete
one-
line 1 in
Just-
October?
Where it says these minutes were constructed from.
No, that's
What?
Vicky's minutes, I also
Right.
replied all, y'all don't have a copy of them, I know, I'm emailing all.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll hold out the October minutes and get some clarification for the for the next meeting. And we'll hold those out till the next meeting and get this corrected. Okay, board members, we will move on now to Secretary's report. Bill, do you have anything else to add?
Only that I have a notebook here with all the minutes that have been approved and I think published somewhere. If you can't find them, you can find them here and maybe wherever we decide to put them. But,
They're under board minutes.
okay, so you've got a hard copy you can read anytime. It was helpful for me because one of the things that we spent about 5 or 10 minutes on was correcting who was excused and who wasn't, and I looked back and everybody's been excused from all these meetings.
All right, anything else, Hope?
That's it.
Okay. We'll move on to the treasurer's report. Vicki?
Okay. Okay, first the banking information as of October the 31st. The Seacoast checking account, which is our working fund that we use to write bills out of, is $63,482.94. The reserve account, $503.64. Our CD account is $53,377.92. The Seacoast membership account is $2,370.15. for a total of $119,734.65. On the P&L, was there any questions on the P&L?
So last month, when, you were gonna go back over with Carol to see how everything had been rearranged, and I told you that the numbers from August and September, the year-to-dates, none of them were adding up correctly, and then some of the math was just completely off. Did you ever get with Carol to figure out how that was rearranged?
I thought you were gonna send me a list of discrepancies
It
because.
was all of the math, it was just everything on the P and L.
No.
Okay.
We have 8 items that we moved, and I have a list of those 8 items, but if anything other than that, I thought you were sending me discrepancies, because you started naming them.
Yeah, it was the whole thing, like, I just figured you would go back over the P and L and redo the math and just look at, so everything for the October, financials are what carried over from September, which all the math was wrong, so I was kinda going through here and realizing nothing had been corrected from September as far as just math. But I mean, I'll point out one, like website maintenance, just in October, it says in October we spent $550, but then, the year-to-date only went up $50.
The $500 was, a discovery that the payments that were going to, Charlie, 5 months of those aired out, and Seacoast put the money back in our checking account. So I had to write him a check for $500, and then there was a check written for $50.40, because as I mentioned last month, his check should have been $107.20 instead of $100. So those few months that we owed him $7.20 was the $50.40.
So the total year-to-date is $950, even though we spent $550 this
Correct,
month?
because the checks that were supposed to be going to him, 5 of them aired out. So I just wrote him last month a check for $500 to catch that up. If it's $100 a month, he should be at $1,200 by the end of the year.
Right,
Okay, thank you, Vicki.
I got more questions.
Okay.
In the August meeting, we had discussed the $11,000 in membership dues on the July P and L. And then you said I misconstrued that number. But at the October 11th members meeting, you specifically read out at the meeting the 11,000 membership numbers. You said in the meeting, $1,300 was estoppels. You said $775 were late fees, and that $8,953 were membership dues. But on today's P and L, it says year-to-date is $800 on the estoppels, not $1,300, like you said at the October members meeting. And on the October P and L, it says there's $100 in late fees, not $775, like you said at the October meeting. So which one is it?
I'll check with Carol. I don't have the numbers for that.
Okay. It said, the fire and casualty that I asked last month about it going down. All year it said that we paid $4,128 year-to-date. And then today it says we paid $1,600.74. So, sorry, $1,674.55. So did we get a $2,454 credit from the fire and casualty insurance?
No,
Okay, so that number couldn't have gotten recategorized.
I'll
so-
write it down and get with Carol. That's what I'm saying. If you have
Alright.
discrepancies, I need a list so I can get back with Carol. I don't do the QuickBooks.
Okay. Do we know why the electric on the Columbia County side went from $340 to $736 this month?
Say again?
The electric on Columbia County side it's usually around $340 a month, and it went up to $736 this month.
I don't have the bill in front of me, but I'll check it.
Okay. And then the bank charge, we've been wondering what that bank charge was. It decreased from a monthly, it was $110 every month. And it reduced down on this October P and L to $26. Were you able to talk to the bank and get it marked down?
I didn't have it on the list to check.
But we've been asking about the bank charge for a while, and you said you were gonna keep on asking the bank what that's for.
No, there was $100 that I just mentioned that was his payment aired out
Right,
for
yeah.
5 months.
I'm
That
talking
was
about
a
the bank,
different
the bank,
category.
the bank service charge that we usually pay $110 for, it's equaled out to $1,758 this year so far, just on an administrative charge for the bank, or service charge for the bank, and it went down from $110 down to $26. And I know that you had said in several meetings that you didn't know what that service charge was for and why it was so high, and I was wondering, did you get it marked down to $26, but
It's on my list to check.
just a fluke, I guess. Okay, and that's, so far on my thing. That was my
All right,
question.
so, you have anything else, Vicky?
No.
Okay. Need a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Motion to approve treasurer's report.
Motion by Charlie,
Second.
second by Tommy. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
Opposed.
passes. We'll move on to the park manager's report, and Bill's out of town. However, he gave me, one item to, report on. And, what I wanted to do is pass around some pictures to the board members to see. I've got 3 pictures here of three aggressive dogs in our park, in Hodar Park. Apparently, I think this was Friday morning,
Yes, it was.
and it was reported by some members across the street, several members across the street. We had some board members came to it really quick. There was a small deer cornered in the southeast corner of the park. So let me just pass that around if y'all take a look at those pictures. And basically just really wanted to highlight and emphasize why it is important that we have these dog restrictions in our park because of the safety issues. Had someone had a small child that perhaps maybe had access to the gate, could have come into the park, you have no idea what could have happened, or any person for that matter, but a small child, they would have killed him probably. If you look at the deer where they've eaten the leg off. Now this happened to be the owners of these dogs. When animal control was called, the dogs were recognized and they belonged to members of Three Rivers Estate property owners. And so, and these folks have been warned before about these animals and about the aggressiveness of these animals. So, animal control came, they went and got the owners, had the owners come back and get their animals, and I don't know what the situation is after that. That's county, they may have written them citations. They said they probably would based on the severity of the incident. But once again, want to emphasize to the community the importance of not having animals in the park, because we have too many people, our density is too tight. You can pass this back around over here.
How did the dogs get in the park? Do we know how the dogs got in the
Well,
park?
more than likely, the river's down about 10 feet from where it's been at the end of the park.
they
You've
swim
got
in?
access to come around the ends. But there is a leash law in Columbia County, and these particular owners of these animals have been warned. As a matter of fact, I know the owners, and I remember somebody showed me a clip once where they were bragging about feeding deer parts to these animals and teaching them how to chase deer and track deer. So I don't think it's funny, and I don't think it's cute, and I think the fact that we have tried to emphasize and stress the importance of keeping animals out of the park for safety reasons. This just brings it to the surface as to why we don't need.
Is the owner's name published anywhere? Why are we hush-hush about things like this?
I don't, anybody that knows who it is, you can say it. I'm not gonna get into that.
Well, where do they publish
It's public
it?
record, so you can check with code
It's
enforcement.
where?
It's public record.
Board of County Commissioners, you can check with them, code enforcement. It should be a public record. Matter of fact, they may have to go before the magistrate with it, I have no idea.
Can we see the pictures after the meeting, please?
We can pass them out to you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? And these, matter of fact, there's been complaints on these animals before, and it happens to be members of Three Rivers Association. So at some point in the future, we will have to come up with some means of the board being able to actually put some teeth into our process as it relates to people having access to the parks, the memberships, and violating rules.
Did we talk to animal control? Is there any kind of process that we can begin? It's an issue?
Well, first of all, there's a leash law.
I understand that.
That's number one. The second thing is that, you know, when you begin to get warnings after a while, there's a process. So I haven't talked to code enforcement yet, other than just some people on the outside.
They're probably gonna
of the park.
handle it like they do all the other dogs that run around. They don't, I mean, there's dogs running around everywhere.
They actually went to the owner's property, had the owners come pick them up, but I don't understand because there's been complaints on these animals before. So this is county commissioners, they're the ones that are running code enforcement for. Yes, Deborah?
And there is a process, because we had to go through it. Our cat was chased twice by a pack of 3 dogs. We reported it, we recorded photos. It takes 3 complaints before they will go and talk to the owners. And then the owner is possibly fined up to, I wanna say $50 per dog. So it's not a steep fine, but it's a fine. And then they're warned to keep those dogs in place. Now, that owner can come and debate what I said about my cat, or, you know, somehow try to get out of it. So they have all these rights, and the victim has very few resources.
So anyway, just keep your eyes and ears open, and hopefully we'll be able to get something, some process started, because that's, you see the picture, y'all have the pictures back there?
Can I add something to
They're
that?
moving around.
Sure. Okay, yes, ma'am.
You know, we had a group a committee that met about dogs on the park, and they did all this extensive research. And it was very clear that our insurance said if we ever had a claim about a dog biting somebody and causing injury, they would probably drop us, and it'd be really hard to get insurance. So that's a problem. And the other thing is that if dogs are in a pack, they're much more aggressive than if they're on one-on-one. And if they chased this little deer around the fence and killed it and was eating part of it, they've now tasted blood. And luckily, there was nobody in the park that early in the morning, but had a child been in there, and got near that deer that was laying there, they were guarding their kill.
Yeah,
I don't know if they were hungry, but they were guarding their kill. Pardon me?
Which is an aggressive Rottweiler.
Yeah, so, you know, it could have been, turned out really bad if a child had been in the park and happened to walk near that dead deer, and then one of these dogs jump on them to try to keep their food to themselves, so it could have really been that.
All right, so we'll move on. I just wanted to give that report. That's all that we had under Bill's report this month. We'll move on to the maintenance committee, and we've had no activity. We have very little activity in the maintenance report. We are right now taking bids on fences in all of the parks, all the major parks right now, and we've got bids coming in as we speak. So we'll move on then to communications.
Hang on, real quick on the maintenance
Yes.
committee, what's the plan for the front steps?
Front
Are they
step.
gonna, like, when are they gonna be done, or
They're
the,
basically gonna bolt up the metal for the railing, and it'll be done. And it'll be painted, that's all.
do we have any other, capital improvements, planned out for 2026, or do we? how
We'll
do
be
we-
starting a committee for 2026. We put some dollars there. Primarily the focus on the board is, it sounds like, fencing, fixing the fencing, and actually putting up better fencing access to the parks, so that we can restrict it a little bit better to keep out the folks that don't belong in the parks. Okay, so we'll move on then to communications. Vonda, Charlie?
Did you miss the president's report?
I probably did.
Oh,
Where'd
okay.
these pictures go? Those pictures, they stopped back
So,
there.
what we will do now, thank you, Vicki, we will back up,
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did around.
and Terry,
My bad.
I'm sorry, I left you out.
I was just gonna talk about the Christmas thing.
Okay.
It's December the 6th. We'll be posting the information on Facebook tomorrow. We will be doing the, A-Rod, and everybody gets up their golf carts and stuff, and we'll have the parade. And I want to thank Mr. Doctor that he just dropped off a bunch of presents, brand new presents for us to give out at the Christmas extravaganza this year. So just go on Facebook tomorrow and you'll see everything that's going on. It's our biggest event of the year and everybody loves it.
Mr. Doctor here?
Yeah, he was here. He came and dropped off the presents.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so, and then I also want to thank everybody that stepped up at the members meeting, and since I have had all these issues going on at home, that took care of doing everything for me, I appreciate it.
You sound like you feel better, so we're glad
Yeah,
to hear that.
yeah, so,
And good.
most important was my old man.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that all you have, Terry?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll move on then to the communications report.
Thanks for our membership. So for the Columbia side, we are at 720 members. The Swan County side, we're at 264 members. So we're at a total of 984 members.
Good. All right. Anything else?
No, tagging on to the Christmas extravaganza. If you know of any children, we'll put this out on the, on Facebook or web page, whatever. If you do know of any children, we do need to go ahead and get their names, what they like, their ages, to make sure that all the kids do have a gift from Santa, because we will have Santa and Mrs. Claus there. And I do know there are a few families that really don't get much for Christmas, so we want to make sure that they do have a good Christmas.
Very good. And the date of that again?
Is Saturday, it's the first Saturday in December, the December 6th.
Okay, any other board members have any questions of it?
Yeah, who's in charge of the Facebook official site? Who monitors that and censors it?
And the group.
Hmm?
It's a group.
There's the Three Rivers Estates Facebook site, and then there's the official Facebook. So who monitors that?
It's a group.
A
It's a
group,
group.
who's in the group?
Myself, Vicky, Charlie.
Okay. So which one of y'all is the one that didn't want to post the 85-year-old birthday party?
Oh, that would be me.
Okay. So what was your reason in justifying that?
Because we don't put everybody else's birthday party on there, but also the fact that the
So,
particular,
let me-
well,
let me-
We're not gonna get,
I'm-
we're
wait a
gonna
minute.
keep it toned down, so
Hang on.
let her answer the question.
She did.
no, I did
She
not.
answered
You
it.
just
She
cut me
said,
off.
no, you said that
You
you
just
didn't post
cut
it
me
for a
off.
reason.
Okay, we're gonna,
No, absolutely, I want to talk about this.
No,
if you will let her answer, finish her
Okay.
question, then we
Finish
can do
answer.
that, all right? Go ahead, on.
okay.
This has
I
nothing
am-
to do with Trepo. I don't want to hear gossip, I didn't come here to get business.
So,
When you allow members to post things about board
Okay, she
members,
went again, she wants.
when you allow
I'm done.
members to post
Okay.
negative things about board members on Facebook and it causes 85 to 100 comments, or then whenever you allow people to
That's
post
nothing
that
to do
don't
with
even own property
corporation,
in Three Rivers to
period.
post negative things and even death threats to board members on Facebook, but you refuse to post.
I got punished
An
immediately
85-year-old
last time from the
You
85-year-olds, so let's not
refuse
talk
to
about
post her
her.
birthday. And you allow everything else to be posted on the official Facebook group that is not Trepo related. Joan served on the board, she's been she's been a nice
Joan lied,
service
she stole
for this
my
neighborhood.
papers,
It doesn't
she
matter if you
took my
have a
property.
problem with her.
That's
okay,
a thief
we're
and a
actually,
liar.
we're actually losing control of the meeting, so
Exactly.
can you stop and let her finish?
Yes.
Okay, and let her finish,
Okay.
okay?
Okay. I did not feel that it was right to publicize her birthday party when she was censored on our board because she filed a false police report against this board. So no, I'm not going to, put out for everybody to come to her birthday party on our Facebook page.
All right. that's
So
the
why
answer
did
to the
you
question.
allow members who don't even own property in Trepo to make negative comments about board members and other people in here to post?
I don't
on
think anything was
Trepo
allowed.
About negative comments about board members on your Facebook group. You think that's okay?
I don't know what
We're
she's
not
talking
gonna go back and
about.
forth, so what is the example you're talking about?
There's two.
Okay, what are they?
The one I emailed y'all about with the lady that was making death threats, she was allowed to post all over the official Facebook.
She was
group.
removed.
Okay, and then
I
the
did
second, and then
admit
but
it.
nobody responded to my email. And then the second one, she's here, but she apologized, but she posted a lot of negative things about me and started a big campaign all over Facebook. And then y'all allowed for that to be posted against another board member. So it's very unprofessional.
It's no different than what
Very
you do, Bonnie.
unprofessional.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna leave it at that, okay? All right.
Well,
Let's,
I can't
let's,
post on the official Facebook group because I get blocked.
Good, I've never seen it, so I don't have a clue. We'll move on then to, new business, membership and keys. So how do we want to start this discussion about, we're holding off till the first of the year, so how do we want to get this started, Vonda?
I know,
Karen?
one of the things we discussed is when it is time is not mailing keys. I think we lose a lot of money, keys get lost, and you've got extra keys floating, we don't know where they're at.
Right,
Half of them don't get there.
No.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's one of the things, I know like people are wanting to pay, but I mean, we need to get into January.
okay, if we do that, then there will have to be a person available to get those keys to those folks, and there has to be communication set up with those folks so they can be, we can make it convenient for them. Do y'all see any
I don't have a problem with that.
We talked about us sitting out here a couple days out of the week and post the days we'll be here and the times.
Right,
That way they can come up here and fill out their paperwork and hand them their keys.
Because some people have availability during the week and some do not, and some need an evening slot. I mean, we would put in.
We're just gonna move around the hours so we can take care of everybody.
okay. All
I think
right.
that's a great idea.
Me too.
Because a lot of our members, they'll come down like on a Friday night, or a Friday evening, or Saturday morning, so they still have access.
It should- Okay, board members, y'all heard that, that one part about the keys, any objection to that?
It has been, he just mentioned it too, it's been mentioned in the past, what about people who live out of state or out of town? Would
They can pay the
would they pay for the postage?
No, they will pick them up when they won't get the
So like
keys
if
till
they
they
live in
get here.
Hawaii,
They won't
right?
need their keys till they get here. So we will have them ready to go on file and set up a time ahead of time, even if it's not within our parameters, we would make a time that was convenient for them. I've never seen Terry turn anyone away not to be able to get their keys, and she puts herself out a lot of times.
That reminds me, the person that I know, did you meet somebody in Orange Park and give them keys?
No, I've got her keys, but I have not met her.
Cause she came here and y'all weren't there,
No one
and-
called or I
okay,
never
cause
got
you
any.
told me that she met somebody in Orange Park and
I
had
got
the
she
keys.
was going to, I got
And then
those
you
keys.
never met with her to get the keys?
I have
give
not
the
met
keys?
with her yet.
Okay.
No, I've been a little busy.
Okay.
You can probably mail them.
Okay, so
Not
board
mailing
members, are
keys.
y'all good with that? Then we'll not do any mailing on keys? Board members? Bonnie, you good with that?
No objection.
I think people should be able to pay for postage, so that's my stance on it. I don't think we should collect dues and then not give people their keys.
So if they wanna pay for the postage,
Mhm.
they still have the problem of it not going through the mail.
If you send it certified, receipt,
To
return,
Hawaii?
whatever.
Well, a lot of the problem is.
Hang on a second, we'll get to
I
a
know my key
solution.
never got to me.
What's
and I
the-
We're not gonna need a key till they get here.
So I had to go get his.
And that's a good point, they're not gonna need a key till they get here, so I don't see
So
why.
they may
If they communicate, that's how we can.
I mean, it doesn't matter what I think, y'all are just gonna vote it down, so.
Okay, so let's, okay, board members, what's the, we have one opposed to it. From a consensus standpoint, yes,
It's $7.25 to mail keys. Not everybody's gonna wanna pay.
Yeah, my friend doesn't wanna drive down here twice and not be able to
Wait
pick
a
up her
minute,
keys.
I ain't got time. It's not guaranteed they're gonna get it,
Mhm.
because this is snail mail, and I don't even get packages. I've had medicine, $1,000 worth of medicine stolen.
Right.
So they're not guaranteed they're gonna get the key, so it's better for them to come pick it up.
So my friend months ago was supposed to have Vonda meet with her in Orange Park and.
It wasn't months
And
ago, and I did
then,
want to
and then
text
she
her.
said she
okay, we're
came
not
here.
gonna, we're not gonna go
So
back and
even if,
forth.
well, my
so-
point is that people, they're just gonna come here throughout the year and say,
Right.
oh, hey, I'm here to pick
So-
up my keys 6 months
But
later.
She was
Y'all
having
are
health
just-
issues, and she
y'all are
told me
just
not
gonna
to
be-
worry about it
Okay.
Y'all are
until she
just
got
gonna be,
better.
All
I'm
right.
just asking, you're just gonna be available, just all throughout the year?
They
Just-
are.
several
days a week.
We're gonna set the days for the time, okay?
And pick them up,
Okay, yeah, well,
they know.
My friend came here
So
and
when-
nobody was here to meet her.
So we'll move on, we've got the keys, are the board members good with that? Go ahead.
Who proposed the idea, Vonda and Terry? Because I'll put in the motion. I mean, I agree. I think they're,
Okay,
I would move that we go with the process that they've outlined.
so we
No,
do
I'm
not
not
mail
mailing
keys, but we have available pickup time, and we communicate, when someone says, I need to be able to communicate, then we can lock down a time. Is
Yes,
that right?
and if there's a problem, they can call the president. President,
Okay.
I'm sure will accommodate them and
Okay,
put away these necessary.
so we have a motion by Tommy, we have a second?
A second.
Second by Mike. Any further discussion on keys? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Okay. So, as far as memberships go, how are we gonna, we delayed those, we're gonna have a time starting at the first of the year?
Yes, yep.
I was
So-
around February first.
That's what we're thinking, we're pushing to February, that people, everyone that is a member will still have access to these
So the
dates.
keys,
and we
the keys will be
post
good
it
through
all,
January with the same key,
Yeah.
and then memberships will start, okay?
so that way we're not pushing and rushing and,
Okay, board members, are y'all good with that?
Yeah, let me
Okay.
remind, everybody of something that I've been doing for two friends that don't live, not in the state and one not in Fort White. And they essentially pay for their key and have me pick it up with permission. So, there are ways to work through friends to,
Well, I think that would be controlled by the committee that's gonna make the keys available on those particular days, so that would, just wanna be very, very careful about stuff that could happen in that regard also.
sure.
So,
Maybe have a chain of command letter that goes with it.
okay,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they give a written permission.
okay. All right, is that good? So are we good with them with the February first? Or do we need a motion for that, you think?
Well, I don't want to set a date until we know for sure,
Okay, so, but right now, the consensus is that we will,
going towards February.
February, and
We'll
the,
post information in January,
okay, and the existing keys will be good until,
until everyone
day.
has been
Gotcha.
notified and.
okay. All right, so with that said, we will, move on to, old business. Is there any old business that we have outstanding? Want to discuss?
The illegal campground is.
Yeah, I'm communicating right now with code enforcement, so, there's some more information they need on that. We have a lot of them moved out, so, but anyway, yeah, we are looking at that. I'm still needing to understand, how they classify that. Is that an RV park? Or I'm not sure, they still don't know how to classify that, so we're still in discussion on that.
Is it private property?
It's a private property, but when you're putting that many and you're renting to X number of people on property, that's not legal, so.
I believe that, somewhere, when I was thinking about buying a double lot, and taking one of the lots and putting a, access for my friends who have RVs on it, that I researched it and found out you can have 3 of those.
Really?
You really can, in one lot.
And so you can actually make it a commercial lot and rent out 3 mobile homes?
I don't think it didn't go into that kind of detail.
I don't think so.
And then I looked at
Yeah.
an RV
I don't
recreational,
think
it
so.
said your family couldn't even stay in an RV on your property for the weekend, so that's when but they took that off of
The county.
the website, the county
Yeah.
website, so I couldn't find
And
it.
so it's really how they want to classify it too, and that's what they're trying to determine right now, so we are there, Terry, on that. Anything else under, old business?
I got some old business,
Okay,
I got to check it, go ahead.
okay, go ahead.
I asked in September, what was spent on all the parks, like just outside of daily functions. And so I just added up some little categories for the Swanee side for maintenance labor. We spent $2,600, I'm just rounding off the figures. We only budgeted for $250 in 2026. Maintenance expenses for Swanee side was $2,050, we only budgeted for $100 for 2026. Maintenance supplies was $2,500, we only budgeted $250 for 2026. And remodel and renovations for Swanee side, which isn't even included in the 2026 budget, we spent $7,547 to a total of $14,767 for Swanee side.
So you're saying we should maybe cut that back or just amend the budget
Well,
for that?
I don't know, because the Columbia County side, I added it up and those numbers kind of fit, except for maintenance expenses. We spent $16,946. So with all those in Columbia County, we spent $30,000. And then we had generic capital improvements, which was $36,000. So with just maintenance labor, maintenance expenses, maintenance supplies, remodel renovations for both parks, or both counties, and the generic capital improvements, we spent $81,400 in the parks this year, and I don't know how we spent that much money on parks this year,
Okay, well,
so.
I know there was 36,000, on this particular building for the renovation of this building,
Okay.
for Columbia, so that was an item that was.
So there was another 30,000 that was spent on the Columbia County side this year.
Okay, is that, and when you say maintenance expenses, about lawn mowing?
No.
and-
No,
Urban cleanup.
no, these are just things that were, these are outside of normal daily functions.
Okay, so then why don't we do this, then you're concerned there is the amount of money spent on the Swanee side,
Yeah, I mean, just,
and then what we can, go ahead. Yeah,
it's
sure.
just, we don't have bids and contracts, nobody knows what's being fixed, nobody, until after the fact that they're like, oh, this is being done, like, and then all of a sudden, we've spent $81,000 in both counties this year, and, I mean, the clubhouse looks good, I know some things got painted, I know we put a weather head on, I know we had a grinder pump put on the septic tank, but I just don't understand where $81,000 went, and we don't have
These are
anything.
really low budget numbers.
Yeah,
They're
but-
amazing.
but there's
I mean,
no-
I
but
commend
there's
everybody
no-
that got it done for that.
But there's no, like, there's no bids or contracts or
There
invoices.
are bids, we took bids on this
But
building.
nobody
There
knows
are.
where they
There
are.
That's for the
were.
maintenance committee.
But they
Well,
should.
let me say that when we have expenses that they're spread over several categories, there's maintenance labor, maintenance supplies, unexpected maintenance expense, and then it's broken down by Swanee or Columbia. If you want, we can set up a time, you can put in a request to review records, and we can make an appointment, and you can pull the invoices and look at them.
I just thought that having budgets, or having bids and contracts, pre-planned improvements online, it would help so that people wouldn't have to make 1,000 records requests, because that would probably be easier for y'all to do that.
Okay.
Old business also, we talked about a credit or a debit card. I wanted to make a motion that we do not have a credit card or a debit card. I know it would be convenient, but I think, we're over budget this year alone. And everyone's confused over what's being spent where, and I think the card would just add to
I
the
don't think
confusion.
anybody's confused. As far as the credit debit card, I don't think you'll get anybody on the board to vote for that right now, so.
Okay, cause somebody made a motion last.
There was a discussion about it last
Discussion,
time,
so.
right, but I don't think we'll do that.
Well, usually we do new business first, so I guess I'll just do old business. I had a question,
I thought we did, but we'll go back.
I had a question as to why did, Mr. Fox say that the members weren't allowed to vote at the members meeting?
I have no idea.
Okay,
And I'm not sure what context that was taken out of. It might have been the fact that it wasn't an item on the agenda. I don't know.
do what?
I have no idea, but I'll be glad to
That's
ask
the
that
reason,
question.
we don't know why nobody can vote. Okay, and then,
No, I didn't say we don't know why nobody can vote.
Wasn't on the agenda.
If it's not on the agenda, I don't know that it's an item that you could
Well,
take, so.
I know whenever I ask for
And
things to be put on
if
the
it is an
agenda, they don't get
administrative,
voted on
if
the
it's an
agenda.
administrative, decision that, for the corporation, that wouldn't be anything to be voted on either.
I know whenever I ask for things to be put on the agenda, they don't get put on the agenda.
Well, when did you send your request in for the agenda?
8 days ago, but there was no agenda posted. I mean,
No.
Charlie has buried it somewhere on the
I
website.
didn't
I
see
just
it
saw
8
it.
days ago, I just saw that.
Thursday, Friday.
Did you not get my email that I sent 8 days ago asking for
I
the
didn't,
emergency
no.
items? Okay.
All right, what
One
else?
of the items I had the last couple of months were never
Okay.
answered or put on the agenda either. I wanted to have written proof, I want to be provided written proof.
The agenda for tonight was posted on November 1st.
I wanted to have written proof that where are we finding that membership is mandatory? Because our covenants are expired. Obviously, I know y'all probably seen those
We'll get
emails I
you,
sent
we'll
you.
get you an answer to that, a legal answer to that, okay?
Yeah, because if membership's mandatory, how is it justified that paying members can't vote at a members meeting?
It's not mandatory
it's
for all
in the-
people.
Right,
Well,
and in
they-
the bylaws is where you get your answer, and the bylaws are still intact.
Right, but the covenants aren't, and when the bylaws were redone, the covenants were still intact.
Right.
So the bylaws, when they were written, assumed that the covenants were still,
But we can't
Valid.
assume that, all we know is our bylaws are still in
well, we do
effect.
know that the covenants are expired.
Correct, we do know
And
this.
the covenants are what tell people what they have to do and what they can't do, and what they should be doing.
You can't put
And you
covenants
can't
on
force
people.
somebody, if the covenants are expired, you can't
They're
force somebody to
illegal.
pay.
This is where you need to go back and read the bylaws.
Yeah, I've
The
read them.
bylaws stand alone. The bylaws can stand alone, and
The
that's
articles of
what,
corporation are over the bylaws.
Yeah.
what we have, right? But that's what I'm saying.
The bylaws are illegal, they were done by the president and the board at that time, I was
But
there.
at this
Yeah,
point,
here we go.
And then the
the
covenants
state
are
looks
expired.
at our
You don't have
bylaws
to go to
as they're
court,
still
that's okay.
intact.
So when
Well,
the covenants are what tie people's properties, I mean, in a very generic way of saying this, the covenants are what tie people's properties to the corporation. If we don't have active covenants, then the corporation
has
can't
no,
tell.
nothing to do with the properties,
Right,
nothing.
exactly. I agree with Leanne on this.
They,
The corporation
that was
cannot-
illegal
We're
what
not
they
gonna-
did
we're not
in
gonna have a
nineteen ninety,
discussion.
they never asked the property owners, we're gonna make a POA.
But the-
You can't make a POA without the property owners signing an agreement, they never did, this will go to
Okay,
court,
so
it will be voided.
let's get specific to the question,
Where we
and
are
then what,
specific to the
what we'll
question
do is,
is,
we'll
if the
direct.
covenants are expired, you cannot force people to
Go
pay.
to court.
We got this on
Have to
tape,
go to
and what we'll
court.
do is we'll have the attorney,
Well, the attorney never answered any of the
You'll have to
questions.
go to
We'll
court,
cover that
Connie.
under-
Well, let me ask you this question,
Go
you're
to
saying
court.
it, and I'm saying I'm gonna get the attorney to respond to what you're saying on
I'm on
tape
it.
tonight, okay?
You don't have to.
What's next, what you got?
Oh, I got a lot, well, that was old business, I got a lot of new
All right.
business. Okay, we'll start with new business.
We want to do new business.
Is that old business you got?
That's all the old business I
Is
have.
yours old business?
Mine's old business.
Okay, we have one more old business, so go ahead.
We did new business first.
Yeah, I thought we did new business, so we'll move on.
I just, last month, there was a discussion over, we had two different members. One was Jody, and you're here. And we went ahead and wrote you a check for the 6442. So then that, makes everything back with yours, so you get your money back. Are the Rileys here tonight? No? Now, here's what I found with the Rileys. I took both of your pictures of your things last year of your paper last month. So the Rileys were saying that they paid, I got the other paper. Anyway, there's two columns on theirs. So at the time, the Rileys
With the closing statement.
were the buyers, and there was, the other people were the sellers. So the seller, in their particular case, is who actually paid for the estoppel and for the dues that were not paid in those prior 2 years. So the Rileys only paid like $168 as buyers. So in reality, they're not due any money because they're not out the money. The people that paid their previous dues were actually the seller, which were not the Rileys.
The complaint was, she was already a member.
Correct.
Okay, we're not gonna,
But that doesn't have anything to do
Well,
with.
she's not here, so I know where they
I
are.
tried to call her today, and I did
Yeah.
leave a message, she did not call me back, but I'm just saying, due to the fact that, yes, they did have a membership, they didn't need another membership.
Tell me, where's the membership?
But the other people, the actual sellers are the ones that actually paid it, not the Rileys. The Rileys weren't out any money.
so she needs to get in
They
touch
didn't
with
pay-
Vonda.
they didn't pay
If
twice.
you can reach her, let her get in touch with Vonda.
But I have
She'll
to
go from
check
there.
it.
We have the young lady's
It was
check.
all illegal.
Okay,
Nobody
so,
would listen to me.
Do you have some new business you said you wanted to finish? Okay.
Yeah, I asked for an emergency item to be placed on the agenda.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I looked over the finances, and I'd like to discuss the budget surplus items. And I have some more stuff to go over, so we can go over this next month also, and I'll get with Vicki. In 2024, Trepo rolled over $76,000 in cash from December 31st of 2024 into 2025. In 2025, as of September, Trepo exceeded the 2025 budget by $26,000 that wasn't properly budgeted for. It appears to be an unexplained maintenance
We
expenses.
can't hear over the
Yeah.
talking over on the right side.
Okay, if we could all hold it down, please.
We were over budget by $26,000. It appears to be in unexpected maintenance expenses, mostly. As of the end of September, Trepo's bank account had $100,000 in savings, excluding the $53,000 in reserves. October's statement has $66,000 in savings minus the $53,000 in reserves, and I was well, I have a few things. We spent $37,000 in October. Again, 5,000 of that was for, Columbia County maintenance, so we don't really know, but anyways, that just seemed like a big number to be spending in October. But to prevent from dipping into what appears to be a slush fund for unbudgeted items, we need to tighten up on our operating budget.
What is a slush fund?
Well, it's the $76,000 that you rolled over from December 31st into 2025. Because we went over budget by $26,000 this year on things we just paid for that weren't in the budget for 2025. It appears that y'all were just dipping into that $76,000 rollover. So that would be, it appears to be a slush fund. But it's not,
reserve?
yes, it's not a reserve either. It's just money that's being put into a savings account. So I wanted to make a motion that anything over 10% of the overage over the normal budget, not including the reserve fund, should not be rolled over into the next year. It should be placed in a pre-planned budgeted park improvements reserve savings account to be voted on for improvements or emergencies, highlighting safety issues first, like midpoint dock or properly fixing both boat ramps, or any other issues that get added to park improvements on the list that was provided in July. Example, 10% of the $76,000 that was rolled over from 2024 to 2025, we could roll over like 10% of that into the operating budget. So we'll just say $8,000. And then the rest of that $76,000 minus the 8 would be put into another reserve account for like park improvements and pre-planned budgeted items. Because right now it's just sitting in our account, and there's no pocket for it really to sit in, and we're just dipping into it when we go over budget on things. So, we can definitely talk more in depth
Okay,
about
Bonnie
this.
wants to speak to that. Go ahead, Bonnie.
First of all, the way that we are structured, I understand where you're coming from to a point, but the way we work is we pull that money over because we have to have operating money, because our money doesn't start coming in until January. Now it's gonna be coming in February. So I don't see where 10% is gonna even get us through that.
Okay.
Typically, the board, their pleasure would be to have 1 year's membership in reserve for emergencies, whatever may come up throughout the year, on things that are not budgeted. And we've never been able to achieve that. That 53,000 is the only thing that we've been able to keep, like in a reserve carried over. Typically, when we have money left over in the budget, it is carried over to the next year, but like Wanda said, that carries us through until all the members start paying their membership fees for the next year.
Is there a way that maybe after we get that money to start operating on a normal thing, that you can put it over into something where it's accounted for? Instead of,
It's in our working fund, it's accounted for. I don't see the difference in taking it out of the working fund and sticking it in another savings account. If at some point we ever built up the reserve where we felt like we could get a second CD, we could certainly do that, but we're not at that point.
we'll have to. I definitely want to table this and talk about this more, because
In
that's-
looking at the banking information that I just handed out, that was as of October 31st, I went through and noted that if you take the $119,734.65 and minus out that savings and the CD and the checking, what would be left is, that's taking out 56,252 out of those numbers. For November, I've already written checks that were over $8,000. And then I've added up what comes out of the banking checking account automatically: electric, internet, Carol's check, and Charlie for internet, or for the web. So by the time you take all of that out of there, right now we have approximately $54,000 left.
Okay.
And we have the rest of November and all of December, so our carryover next year is not gonna be very much.
Okay, that was my next question. How much do you think the carryover is?
There's no revenue coming in, so.
No, there's no revenue coming in until maybe February.
So you could
So-
estimate what 2 typical months are, and subtract that away from it, you'd have a high and a low.
I mean, last month was a heavy month for us, I spent $35,000, but
Right.
typically it's around 20.
Okay, so how much do you think we're gonna roll over into 2026?
20.
20,000, okay.
Plus or
And that's
minus.
an approximate.
Yeah, that's
amount.
fine, approximate's fine, I know I asked last meeting. And then I asked in the email too, how much money, cause a lot of people ask us all the time, how much money was spent in the 2024 hurricane cleanup?
Don't have it, like I told you before, it's spread over about 4 or 5 different categories, and if you wanna set up a time and request for records, we'll sit down and pull all the invoices.
Okay. And how much was spent on the clubhouse remodel?
36,000.
Okay. And then what is left to be fixed, just the stairs?
That's it.
Stairs, okay. And then, yeah, bids and contracts with help. How much did the septic cost?
I think around 2,600.
Was that 2,600, was that added in that 36?
I
No,
don't think
because
so.
that's not part of the clubhouse.
That wasn't part of the renovation. Matter of fact, that we were very fortunate with that because that could have been as much as 15 or 20,000.
Right.
That'd be-
No,
Exactly.
that's a good deal. And then here is the question that everybody wants to know. Has the HOA revitalization packets been mailed out to every parcel owner?
No.
No. Okay. Has it been mailed out to anybody?
Yes.
Okay, so just certain people?
Yes.
Okay. Who
You're,
is,
you're aware of all of that.
no, I'm not. Who is on the organizational committee?
The board minus you.
Okay, I was taken off of it?
You asked to be taken.
Okay, that's
off.
fine, because you told me 4
Why
times I
why
had
do
to
you
be
make
on
the
it.
assertion that we didn't? Just when you
Because
asked-
when I emailed you
Okay.
and asked you to take me off of it, after you told me to be on it 4 times, nobody responded to my email, so I just assumed y'all
Okay.
kept me on it,
All right.
because you don't respond.
You
Next
said to
question.
take you off, and I've got the email.
Okay, nobody responded to it though. Is Mr. Fox not going to answer any of the board members or any of my questions that were submitted to him in June or July? No.
Has board members, do the board members have questions out also?
Did anybody else have questions? I know Hilda had some questions that she wrote in the secretary's report, that we just don't know what's going on with the attorney and the revitalization. So does anybody here know of anything about the revitalization that's going on? Raise your hand if you knew the packets were mailed out.
No, but I didn't know that.
You're not gonna address me individually, you address the chairman.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, does anybody here on the board know about the
The
revitalization?
committee members know, yes.
Okay, who's on the committee?
Pardon me?
Who's on
I
the
just told you
committee?
who was on the committee.
I don't know, you said
I
everybody, there were a
said
few
the
people.
board
but me.
members minus you.
Right, who's on the committee?
All the board members.
The board members.
All the board members, every board member's on the committee? Are you
Yes.
on the
That's what I
committee?
just heard. I'm
She's
not
not
a
a
member.
Not a
I'm
board
sorry,
member.
I'm sorry,
member.
excuse
I'm
me.
a-
I'm sorry, you're right. Okay, so every board member here is on the committee.
Right.
Okay, and everybody knew the packets got mailed out, or just some of the packets got mailed out?
I didn't get one.
Okay. Next question.
And then what is the total cost of the revitalization?
Be glad to get you that number.
Okay.
How can you revitalize an illegal act?
Okay, hang on, Leanne. What was?
It's actually a crime.
Was the revitalization cost figured into this year's budget or next year's budget? And under what category was it put in?
I have no idea. on
No,
that.
no,
We'll probably,
We don't know.
we'll make a budget amendment for the end.
okay, no idea.
Okay.
I have a
No,
question.
no, we'll make a budget
How
amendment.
many went out? How many packets went out?
I think some over 100 packets went out.
I never got any.
Why are they only being sent out?
You have to have the majority of property owners.
You have to what?
Okay, so that's done. What's your next question?
How come only 100 packs have been sent out?
I have no idea. Okay. We're following legal advice, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Just have to go to court.
I'm telling y'all, that sounds
You have to go to
extremely
court.
shady.
Let me say something to you, Bonnie,
You have to
okay?
go to court.
You sat in on those meetings, and you sat in, and you understood what that was, and now you're making it sound like you did not, because you were there for that.
So-
And now you knew that the numbers weren't gonna be the
All the
same.
packets were supposed to go
I'm
out at
just
the same
saying,
time, correct?
I'm just telling you that you're playing a game
Were all the
with this
packets
board and the
supposed to
people in the
go out at
audience.
the same time?
You were part of that.
Mr. Hunter,
Yes,
were all of the packets supposed to be mailed out
of
at the
course they
same
are,
time?
yes.
So how come only 100 have been mailed out?
I'm telling you, we're
You're
following legal advice, thank you.
Okay.
And you were sitting in that same meeting back in
And now you're
Yeah,
April.
I told
playing,
you
and now
then,
you're
it
playing.
sounds-
No,
it sounded-
no,
All right, so we're gonna
It's
end this
Yeah.
discussion, so we'll open it up for, the public. Anyone care to speak to the board? Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I wrote this down so I can make sure I didn't miss anything. I know at the last meeting, you were talking about you were going out looking for audits, or considering an audit and talking to different.
I have an auditor coming in this week.
Okay, well, let me read you this
Okay.
document I have about why we need an audit done and not a review or compilation done.
Okay.
All right. My name's Kathy Lovett. I'm speaking tonight as a former CPA. I've let my license lapse, auditor and forensic accountant for 30 years. As a concerned member and property owner who cares deeply about transparency, accountability, and clarity of Trepo's finances. Among other things, we've all heard and witnessed the members' recent actions, concerns, and complaints regarding Trepo's financial practices. When the trust of many Trepo members start to erode, the only way to rebuild is through independent verification, not internal explanations, not summaries, but by facts verified by professionals. This is why I'm urging the board to approve a full professional audit of Trepo's financial statements, not a cheaper accounting service such as a review or compilation. In plain terms, the difference between these three accounting services is a compilation simply organizes the numbers. There's no verification of accuracy. This is currently what our bookkeeper is doing for Trepo. A review offers limited checks, but no testing of the transaction or consideration of Trepo's internal controls. Just some analytics that are in there. The third, which is what I'm requesting, or I recommend, is an audit, which is a comprehensive examination. The independent auditors verify the transactions, test internal controls, and issue a professional opinion as to whether Trepo's financial statements are accurate, complete, and compliant. A professional audit will ensure Trepo's dollars are properly accounted for, that Trepo's accounting processes are transparent, and Trepo's transactions are correctly reported and disclosed in the financial statements. An audit can uncover red flags before they become real problems. An audit can also expose inefficiencies, prevent fraud, and protect the board and officers from accusations or uncertainty. Yes, a professional audit costs more than the other accounting services, but ask yourself, what's the cost of building trust, of knowing a community's funds are being managed properly, of preventing a misuse of membership dues, and of demonstrating strong stewardship to the members? These reassurances are priceless. Having a professional audit performed at this time is especially important due to several reasons. One, the Trepo has been experiencing significant growth over the past several years. Trepo is currently facing more member and property owner scrutiny, and Trepo is approaching an election year where new leadership will inherit these books. With the upcoming elections of potential board members and officer transitions in 2026, it's critical to have a verified baseline of assets, liabilities, and reserves. A review would not confirm whether account balances are fairly stated, only that they seem reasonable. In contrast, an audit performs direct confirmations with banks and assures no hidden liabilities or misstatements exist before new board members and or officers take over. Ultimately, having a professional audit performed isn't about suspicion, it's about responsibility. It's about sending a clear message that Trepo's board and its officers are committed to accountability and sound fiscal management, and the members of Trepo deserve this peace of mind. If Trepo chooses to have a professional audit rather than a review or compilation performed, I'm offering to volunteer my time to assist Trepo as it organizes and prepares its audit-related documentation as requested by the auditors. Of course, Trepo's treasurer, bookkeeper, and certain board members will still have to respond to any of the auditor's inquiries during the course of the audit, and will have to take responsibilities for the representations made to the auditors. So I just wanted to let you know.
Can I get your phone number, Kathy?
Sure.
But you don't have to say it out loud here.
Okay.
Is that paper for me?
You can have it.
Yeah, and those are some of that's some of the scope of the work that we're in discussion with right now.
Is it gonna be an audit or a review?
Audit, it's not a review.
Okay, that's great, because.
But there's certain parts that you don't have to have audited, but there is an audit, and it's not gonna be a review, where they go through and say, yeah, this balance to that balance. They'll
Yeah,
go
this,
through.
yeah.
Comprehensive, no.
Okay.
So if you write that down, and I'll, matter of fact,
Thank you.
I will,
Thank you for
Kathy,
that.
I will coordinate with you and let you meet.
Thank you very much.
I know, I mean, I can work between Vicky
Sure.
and an auditor, because I know what they need and what they
Right.
don't need, and I can get it to them.
Thank you. Okay.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
It seems like you're fast tracking these fences.
But we've been waiting for,
I couldn't hear you, sir. You're fast
I
tracking
said,
what?
it seems like you're fast tracking the fences. You wanna fix the fences, the gates?
No, sir, we're just getting quotes to get an idea
Okay.
of what it costs,
Okay.
in the big high density parks.
Mhm.
Yes, sir, and the
But-
repairs on some of the fences.
I know that Roger Culpepper had a crew willing to volunteer to fix the breaking dock at the midpoint for a couple of years now.
Right.
And you said you spent all this money on the parks. Point Park, most of the benches are gone. The one that was broken got stood back up and screwed in. There's screws sticking out, nailed in, whatever. And the picnic tables are
What is your
atrocious.
name, sir?
Excuse me? Joe Sorrento. I'm just wondering where'd you spend all this money when the equipment out there is almost ancient. It's very old. And the dock has been a treachery for quite a while at the midpoint.
I think it might be worth our while just to go ahead and pull a list of all of the items related to maintenance repair, where we've had to repair, and so we can see exactly what we've done. We can do that and make that available. I think we probably can just pull that off of, out of the computer.
Well, I'm just saying that the dock at least at midpoint needs more than Band-Aids put on it.
I, you know, in listening to this, I think what we need to do is, once we get this committee going on park improvements and we figure out exactly what the priorities are for park, we come up with, you know, let's do, 10 benches, or figure out how much one nice bench for Point Park is, and multiply that by however many. If you present that to the members meeting next year and they realize how much money it's going to take to do those things, maybe they'll say yes, or maybe they'll say no.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Sorrento.
Sorrento.
Yes, sir, Mr. Green Apple, I'm sorry.
That's right, I'm Dave Pete, I'm on the Swanee side.
Dave Pete?
Dave,
Okay.
when did you guys ever talk about fences that you're taking bids? Don't you do that at a board meeting before you get bids?
No, we're getting bids to see from multiple ones so we can see what it
I know, but
costs.
whose idea was that, to do that without discussing it at a board meeting?
We're not letting the bids out, we're actually getting bids to see.
I understand
What
that, so you must have
fences cost.
spoken about it to go out to solicit bids.
The maintenance committee had requested that, they asked to do that.
And the other thing is, I'm very disappointed in you, because last month I stood there with Larry, and you assured us that within a couple of days, we would have the paperwork we asked for, which was the financials, which is 3 buttons for you to push if you know QuickBooks. We never heard from you, and it's been a whole month. You told us that everything was gonna be different, moving forward, and it's the same.
Well, I have that tonight, so I'll be glad to share it with you after the meeting.
That'd be great.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you were gonna call Larry. You assured him you were gonna call him.
Well, I guess I forgot, and I apologize for that, okay? But I did bring it to the meeting, so.
Okay.
All right? What else? Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, Leanne, he was first, so let Mr. Greenapple, right?
That's
Sweet
right.
apple.
Oh.
At the end of your meeting there, you guys were talking about packages going out and redoing the neighborhood. Are you shooting to be an HOA or?
No, we're just revitalizing the documents that are in place, so.
So what are the packages?
So, pardon?
What are the packages?
It's
Are we all
the
gonna get one?
documents as they exist, is to revitalize the neighborhood.
Okay,
Are
do we
you
get a
talking
vote
about
on
the
that, or
1990
What
revised
happens if
deed
it-
restrictions?
do we all get a vote on that, or?
Is that what it
It'll
is?
be revitalized and we'll move forward with that and the neighborhood will be as it was.
We don't get a vote, right?
Well, you.
But I will say one
You
thing,
will.
I as a member, I know, I don't want an HOA.
I don't want an
I don't-
HOA.
I don't want
Does
HOA
anybody
either.
think
He just said that we're not gonna be an HOA.
I mean, I don't think any of us are an HOA.
So what's the revitalization? That's the covenants, right? Where you tell people what they can and can't do on their property, and then force dues and liens and stop us on them, right? That's a covenant? That's the
Okay, yes,
covenant.
Mr.
Yeah.
Sweet Apple,
Yeah.
yes.
That's what we signed.
With the mandatory dues being paid,
Yeah,
why in the world would we make that mandatory? We don't have enough park for all these lots here.
yeah.
If they don't wanna be members, please don't be members, don't pay, don't come to the park.
Right, exactly.
I wouldn't disagree with that. So Leanne, you're next, go ahead.
when I came to the last meeting, I had written up the paper, I needed 10 signatures to rescind the 1994 bylaws that were done illegally. In the Articles of Corporation, it says that the members are the only ones who can make, rescind, or amend bylaws. Kathy Melnick, I was there. At the time, I'd gotten a lawyer down south.
Was that 90 or 94?
94. She got a lawyer down south, one of her buddies, because it says, like, in the letter, tell Peggy and the girls hi, so she knew this guy, Pat O'Hara, and she had him write up those bylaws, and then she says, we're gonna tweak them a little now. I'm like, who's we, her and board? Because she did those. Members had those, her friends were all, we had 40 people there, they were all buddies, they all voted, oh, let's do it. Because nobody else back then cared.
You were there.
Yeah, I said no. I said it's illegal. The members have to, what you've done there, besides, I told them the 1990 deed restriction, revised deed restrictions were illegal because when I bought, I said, is this a POA, HOA? Oh no, this is a corporation. I got the articles up, I looked, straight out corporation, run by the members. It's only members to be on the board, only members, no HOA, because when that happens, the developer leaves a guy on the board. If this was not that, those parks were simply, Hodar did not want to pay for them, so he gave them to the lot owners through the entity, Three Rivers Estate Property Owners, Inc. That 1990, to do a POA like that, you have to have a majority. I think it's 70%. A lot of property owners back, you would have got nobody, maybe 2 people. And there was a couple thousand, maybe 1,800 people out here at that time, maybe more. But I'll tell you what, everybody was like, didn't even know what's going on. We were trying to go around and go, hey guys, they're gonna make an HOA, they're gonna do this, they're gonna make this mandatory. We raised such stink that they said, we won't get it done, so they put 1990 and forwards, who buys have to be mandatory. Well, that's them admitting, we couldn't get those property owners to do what's legal, so we'll just do it this way. Because Hodar's got it in his old deed restrictions that he never would give out, only some letter, because he was too lazy or a bigot or discriminatory, I don't know what. I'm gonna start calling him names because we know what it was, or he would have revised it himself and took out white people only. That should have been taken out of there. But no, not that guy. Then he was doing the roads. He gave that off to the counties. He split. He left. In 1990, he never met with anybody and had anything to do with that. His name is not on there. I talked to his son. They're like, no, he would just do another subdivision and keep moving on. That's
Didn't
right.
he sell everything to Land and Timbers after that? In Gainesville?
I don't know, but here's the point. We got ripped off. The corporation is suffering. It's being sued over this POA crap that went down in 1990.
Was that recorded, those amendments in that meeting?
Which amendments?
You're talking about what Kathy Melnick did?
Yeah, probably, but see, you don't have to keep records except for those bylaws and those amendments. But these Trepo boards do anything that they're supposed to? Hell no. Have fun trying to find them. I couldn't. I went through there, it just got what they wanted. And now, I had 10 members, we were asking for a special meeting to rescind those 94 illegal bylaws and go back to the 1987 bylaws, which are fine and dandy. They are basically what, they're good. They keep corporation rule, they don't have all this. Now, those bylaws we have now say, lien on properties, I'm like, it has no stipulation except the ones who bought before 1990 and their heirs. That's not in there. So, you guys wouldn't know this, say, well, then next thing, Trepo's sued again because you've leaned on one of the old members that you can't do it to. So this is a liability to the corporation. This is gonna have to be stopped. And it's gonna be stopped because there are ways to go to court to save the corporation from the leech, from the parasite called the POA that was put on it in 1990. It has cost us tens of thousands of dollars of arguing in court with HOA lawyer. It's a corporation. That is cost us to be liable to lawsuits. We're already being sued. And more stuff went down, and they got a condominium where they said, we don't need, I don't deserve this. I am a corporate member. When I came in here in January, I said, I have the rights to be a member of the corporation. I will not give up those rights. I'm not gonna sign your stupid application saying I agree with it, because I don't. They're all illegal. It's all on record. I said it, and I went through the board and gave the president my money and told her straight out, corporate member.
Okay, I've got some more folks that want to speak, Leanne, so I appreciate
What I'm
your
saying,
comments. Understood.
those bylaws, 1997, 87 bylaws have to be in there with the 1994 ones by law, whether or not. Oh, they got stolen.
Did you ever get the 87 bylaws from
No,
Joan?
because Joan got mad at me because she didn't get her way. She got mad because I said due process and I didn't go along with what was going on. She has all my records. I went to Kevin. He gave them to some woman, then he got them, we get them back. She has got them. She admitted it. That she was supposed to give me the 1987 bylaws. You'll see her name, second right after mine
We've
on
looked
that
for them
special.
ourselves, we can't find them anywhere.
The special
Yeah.
meeting request, you will see Jane Nano right after me telling me she had the bylaws. I talked with this gentleman and other people out there. She was right with me. And I said, Jane said she had the 87 bylaws, guys, we can do this. She's let us all down. She wouldn't give them to me because that I said, you know, I didn't go against anybody. I just said, I didn't get the due process where you've got to go by the, you know, you have, if that board says no, then you gotta go another way. You can't just come and go, oh, we're gonna do this and vote our board in there, and other people are like, we're members, we didn't even know what's going on, that's not fair.
Okay, Leanne, I need to let some other
But
folks speak. Yes,
other
sir,
words,
you in the back.
I tried, Joan Nano, because I know you signed with me.
Yeah, but I don't have that paper.
I know, but
Okay.
Jesse
Leanne,
knows,
Let me let
she
some other
won't
people
give it
speak.
up, she's
Leanne.
done stole my
Yes,
private
sir.
property.
What's your name, sir?
That's illegal.
Okay, go.
I just have to take her to court, I guess.
Hypothetical question for the board, who can put a number on it? Let's just say, heaven forbid, we live in the state of Florida, and a hurricane starts at one end and rips all the way to the other end.
Yeah.
With the fences, with the parks, with this building, what kind of number can we put on that to have it replaced? And will we have to take a loan, or do we try to have some type of money in reserve?
That's why the board is always.
That's what I'm trying to say. Everybody tries to have a savings fund if you can.
Right.
I know life's hard for everybody. Some people have one, some people don't. But I think it's a lot of pointing fingers, but we've got to be realists. I mean,
The board can mortgage parks if they have.
Leanne, it's my turn. Please be quiet.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's just, we got to be realists. If something happens, the next thing you know, everybody's going to be here going, why ain't y'all rebuilding that building? Why ain't y'all putting that fence up? This ain't right. That park's tore up. My bathroom, I can't even go to the park and go to the bathroom.
Right.
You gotta have a slush fund or some type of reserve.
Right.
Emergencies.
Well, the board has stated over the last number of years, the goal is to get 1 year's memberships in reserve.
Right.
So that we can handle issues. Now, to be honest with you, if we had a major liability issue, we're certainly gonna need good legal counsel if we have to go against Morgan & Morgan or some of these firms, Fire Cash and Fire Polino, which we did. And those lawsuits could be $5 or $10 million. So at the end of the day, if you don't have the ability to get good counsel and to be able to repair and fix things, casualty issues, you're gonna be in trouble. $52,000 or a few changes is not gonna be nearly enough money to do anything.
And it's kind of a off-kilter question.
Yes, sir.
But in all the talks with the animal people, I walk in the morning and what happens if those dogs somehow become unalive? And they find out about it? I mean, if I'm protecting myself while I'm walking.
The only time it's legal to discharge a firearm in Florida is if you're dispatching a feral dog or animal, and any animal not on a leash in Florida is considered feral.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
And we also have.
I don't want to carry a gun,
policy.
Jesse, I just want to carry a knife.
Trepo also has an insurance policy for property damage, so.
That's correct.
If there is a hurricane, we also have insurance.
Right.
It doesn't pay right away, I know from losing several homes.
It's not, it won't pay for everything always.
We still have the rivers.
Okay, anyone else want to speak? Yes, ma'am, Kim.
Glad to have them.
A
copy of the legal papers that
Sure.
was sent out?
I'd like one, I'd like a packet too, please.
Sure. Anybody else?
I'm gonna go to court.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Corporate.
Go ahead, Pam.
I'm a little confused about the revitalization packets. How many members does it require to?
Actually,
You have to have property owners.
Actually, every person has the ability to be a member of the association. It's a process that the Department of Commerce puts in place to restore the documents that were not preserved back at a particular
Not if they're
time.
illegal.
And how many members of the community are
All
required?
community persons will have the opportunity to be part of, you cannot deny that. It's a process going through the Department of Commerce in Tallahassee because of the MARTA rules that required 30 years for preservation.
Not when they
And
find
this
out
board
how
didn't
illegal
make
it
that,
is.
so to clear up all the work, we can't change anything, we can only revitalize it. So yes, somebody
If
else?
it's illegal, you can't.
Yes, sir.
So, my name is Shannon Benton.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And, I'd like to know, when should we expect our packets?
You won't be getting a packet until the information comes back from the state. From
So you
Tallahassee.
said 100 packets were sent out?
Until it comes back from Tallahassee, then everyone will be notified and they'll have the same opportunity to be revitalized. It's a process that the state puts in place. Bonnie's fully aware of that.
When it comes back from Tallahassee, it's gonna be
It
done.
comes back certified.
It'll be done.
So
Yes.
what Florida statute 720, last paragraph, under MARTA, the Marketable Record Title Act,
Yeah.
and under 712,
Okay.
and under 712 Florida statute, it says for revitalization of expired covenants that you need 51% of the parcel owners.
You have to have that to have the covenants in the first place, and they never did. They're
Yes.
illegal.
Exactly.
Okay, so
if
we're
you're-
working with legal
If
counsel.
you're only
Yeah.
mailing it out to 100 people,
Right.
I'm glad I know
how
that
are you
was now.
justifying, how does the Florida statute
We're-
MARTA, which is
No,
what y'all were
I
doing with
don't see that.
revitalization,
Okay.
it says that you need 51%
Let me
of
explain to you,
the parcel
I'm not gonna
owners.
address that anymore. We're
Okay.
working through legal counsel.
Read the last paragraph of
Is anyone else
720 under
cares to ask a
MARTA, it
question?
explains everything.
Yes, sir.
Do it anyway.
So what are we running as then? Like, what are we considered right now?
We are a corporation that was
Under
ripped
six-
off
six
by a
what?
parasite,
612 or
POA in
617.
1990.
617, we're a corporation under 617.
So
So-
we're revitalization, it's revitalizing our corporation?
The covenant.
No,
The covenants. and
so that there'll be a
restrictions on the-
POA and they can run under 720.
Which is an HOA.
No.
With a association,
Okay.
illegal.
This
It was
is how
illegal in the
members
first place.
get started. You don't
You
know.
cannot
Okay,
revitalize
hang on,
an
is anybody
illegal
else that has a
POA.
question?
So I wasn't done, but.
You said 100 packets were mailed out.
Right,
I'm gonna have to
So
say
why
about
just
this.
100, why not
I'm going
everybody?
that's a group that
Tallahassee.
we went through to get the process started.
Wanna go,
in
Ronnie?
Tallahassee.
Can we
It may take a year or more to get, yes, ma'am?
That's not 100 that went forward.
Do we have the
Yeah,
right to see
100.
that list of people that the
Sure.
packets were mailed
Sure.
out to? And when would be able to expect that list?
I can make that available next week sometime, if you like.
Okay. Should I
Yes, sir,
call you?
yes, oh, yeah, yes.
Go ahead, she asked you to call you.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, may I call you?
Sure, call me,
Who
it's
should I
fine.
call?
Call me, it's good. Yes, sir.
Did we see the packets that were mailed out?
Yes, sir,
Did a
I'll make
copy
that
of it?
available next week, yes, sir. Anybody
And how
else?
will I find out where they are?
Well, you just call my number, it's 288-1242.
You write it down for me?
Enjoy the holiday, but I guess not.
288-1242. Yeah,
So when y'all gave me what was supposed to be filed as taxes that, hadn't been filed, but, showed it, y'all said that y'all were filing as a homeowners association with a taxable income under an
You said
1120H.
Business.
it's an 1120H, yes.
Isn't that what you said? So, but you just said that
It's
you,
not for profit.
you just said that we're not a
We always
homeowners
went under
association.
exempt until all this crap leaves.
Let me explain something to everybody in the room here. We did not know until April that the documents were not produced.
Glenn, I've been telling you this for 7 years.
The documents-
You don't know? I've got recordings for 7 years of me saying this to
I'm
you.
just gonna go officially, we did not know from legal counsel. You understand? So what the board has done is operated as they always have, with no intent.
Which you were told was illegal multiple times on recordings. Okay.
Okay, any more questions? We're adjourned.
Well, the guys in 1990 were told they were illegal, and they didn't care, they just did it to us anyway, ripped off.